one of the biggest reasons why I like to train in the gym is it seems to give me energy, not just regular gym punching and learning mixed martial arts. It gives me some sort of extra juice, it seems like, in business. So I just want to know, like, people that are looking to translate one to the other, what is some insight that you've gotten from training and mixed martial arts into your business, into the things that you've obviously attracted into your life?
I think the guys that are going to be successful are the guys that are willing to take the situation, the tough job, and turn it into something enjoyable. Make it a challenge. Challenge yourself by doing those things that maybe some other people don't want to do, or feel like it's beneath them to do that sort of thing. And I think, again, that being willing to embrace those situations and make them fun, make them a challenge, make them fun. There's probably an internal motivation to do that, but I think that's what I see in the best athletes that I know. They embrace the suck. That's what
Yeah,
we call it in the military.
that's exactly what the it is. You gotta run towards contact. I feel like that sometimes people run away from the fights in their life because they're afraid to lose, or they're afraid of what it's going to feel like when they get hit, and then they end up running from their whole life. Whether that's sedating themselves with drugs and alcohol, whether that's running around doing bad things. And these contractors, they constantly mess themselves up, hang themselves with their own ropes. And so the biggest thing that I got from watching some of your interviews, one of the things was talking about embracing the suck. In Oklahoma State, you said that you used to have to do 90-minute wrestling matches. Now, I can't even fathom that 90 minutes of someone trying to, throw me around. I mean, I do it for, 3 minutes at a time, and it's like, that I can't imagine that. So talk to us about that experience.
I got introduced to the grind match by Coach Steve Frazier. He was our national coach for Greco. This was one in the years while I was at Oklahoma State wrestling collegiate style, but I was also wrestling on the national circuit and international circuit for the national team representing the U.S. And Coach Frazier, we'd have mini camps and stuff, and you never knew what day it was going to be, but he would come in and say, all right, get a partner, and we'll give you 10 minutes to warm up. Clock starts in 10 minutes. Get your partner. And you would literally start a match. And there would no water breaks, no timeouts, no nothing for 90 minutes. And you want to talk about find that barrier, find that wall where your brain starts telling you you're tired and you need to quit. But you have to persevere. You have to push through that and push that barrier back constantly. And that's one of the few times I ever saw a grown man cry in a workout. I mean, literally it just hit that point where he could not make himself go anymore. And he was pretty upset about it. It was pretty interesting. And that ebb and flow for 90 minutes, there might be part of that 90 minutes where you're kicking somebody's ass. And there are a whole big part of that 90 minutes where you're getting your ass kicked because you're tired. I mean, but you find that wall, you find that barrier, and you're constantly trying to push that barrier back.
So, there's a David Goggins on the internet, supposed to be the hardest guy on the internet, obviously not in comparison to people like you, but he says, that the human mind, the body is capable of doing 40% more when it's time to quit. When your body says it's time to quit, there's actually 40% more you can tap into. Now, tell me, you think that's the right number, or how do you tap into that?
Well, I don't know how you come up with a percentage like that or a number like that. I've met David. I've watched David speak. He's a very, very dynamic speaker and obviously an amazing ultra marathon athlete, a guy that has literally challenged the boundaries of human existence and human capabilities. I like his comment. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when you're done. That's when you quit. Right. So, and I thought that's one of the things he said that stuck with me, that made sense, that fit my mindset for sure. I looked at it like every opponent that I came up against, my job was to break them. And I don't mean physically hurt them or break them that way, but make them work harder than they wanted to work. I want to find out where your boundary is. Where do you decide, or your brain starts telling you need to quit? That's my job. And if I'm not stepping up in that cage or out on that field with that mentality that I'm whatever guy, I do this with football players all the time. Like, I realize there's 10 other guys on this field, but you're keying somebody across that line every single play. And that guy better have the worst game of football he's ever had, or you're not doing your job. That's the mentality I walked up into that cage with, or out onto that mat every single time I competed. I want to break that guy. I want to make him quit.
That's exactly why I'm bringing you to my conference, because the ability to never quit, it translates into business. I think it's the most important skill in life. You know, I've been in debt. I've been facing fines. I've had people leave my business, and it certainly made me want to quit. And there's something about just staying in the game, just staying in there, and just be willing to take it all. As a matter of fact, Zach Conley, he hooked us up, and he wrote a book called Training to Win. And one of the things inside the book, it really grabbed my attention. He says, when you go into a cage fight, you have to be willing to accept the worst case scenario, meaning that you get beat in front of your family and friends, and hell, you might even take a shit in the middle of the cage. You might get knocked silly. You not even know. He literally wrote that in this book. It creates an image, and I'm thinking, you know, if you are all in and you accept the worst case scenario and you're never going to quit, nothing can stop you.